Okay, here's a look at some more figures that are in my Autobot Headmasters collection. These are the original Throttlebots that came out in the late 80s, and they also appeared in the final episode of season 4 of the US version called The Rebirth, part 1. Okay, so now what I want to do is get a quick look up close at each figure, starting off with Bumblebee, Goldbug, who used to be Bumblebee. So here's Goldbug in his robot mode. So just a quick look all around. It's a really simple toy design, but it has this really cool rolling gimmick, which is really fun. So now let's compare this with the animation model so you can see where they base the character off of. Really nice. And now let's get a close-up look at that nicely sculpted head and appreciate how nicely sculpted it is, even down to that triangle on the top of his head, the cutouts on his face mask and cheek. It's a really nice head sculpt. So now what I want to do is show you how this is transformed very simply. They're all the same. What you do is you just extend the rear tires back. You lift up the back to form the back of the car, bring it down, fold down the sides of his arms to form the side of the vehicle, and now you have Goldbug in his vehicle mode. And you can appreciate all the nicely sculpted detail all the way down to that bar handle on the front of the trunk. Even the rims are nicely sculpted, and the back, look at all that detail. This would have been nice, it could have been red. Also, if they put a black sticker to form the back of the window to be more cohesive. But that's Goldbug in his alt mode. And now let's just compare this with the animation model, and you can see it's really nice. And now what I want to do real quick is just show this cool little gimmick. You just roll this back and there it goes. Really cool. Yeah. So what I also want to do is show you his bio card. So you could pause that and read it if you want, and take a look at his tech spec, which you need the decoder, which this is really a cool gimmick that I'm starting to appreciate now, where you can see his stats. Nothing really stands out other than he has really low firepower, a 1. So that's Goldbug. Next, let's take a look at Chase. Here he is in robot mode. And let's compare this with the animation model. You can see where they base the character off of. And let's also take a close-up look at that head to appreciate the nicely sculpted head. This is really cool. You can just imagine if you're making a costume, all the nice shapes and angles of that head sculpt. Really cool. And so now for transformation, the same way, extend the rear, lift up the back, bring it down, fold down the sides of his his arms to form the side of the vehicle. And now you got Chase in his vehicle mode. Really nice. Even a nice little curve here. If you ever drawn cars before, you can appreciate that. The back. This is really nice. So here he is in alt mode, and now let's compare this with the animation model and see. Yeah, it's I think it's really cool. And he also rose. So let's pull this back, and there you go. That's really cool. And now for his bio. Here is Chase bio. Pause that, read it if you want. And his tech spec, which you need the decoder. This is really fun. And you can see his stats here. So that's Chase. Next we have Freeway. So here's a look at Freeway in his robot mode. Let's compare this with the animation model. Cool. Let's get a close-up look and appreciate the head sculpt. Yeah, it's interesting. I like the gold paint. That's kind of cool. So that's a Freeway. And now let's transform him. Same thing. Extend the rear, lift up the back, bring this down, fold down the sides, and here you have him in vehicle mode. Again, more nicely sculpted detail there. And this one's cool. I mean, all sides of the windows are painted. Would have been nice if that could have been painted red. Kind of has a tracks feel to it. That's cool. So now let's compare with the animation model. You can see, yeah, it's kind of cool. So that's Freeway in robot mode, and he also rose. Really cool. And so now for Freeway's bio, here it is. You can pause it and read it if you want. And his tech spec with the decoder. And here he is. Nothing special standing out there, but that's Freeway. Next we have Wide Load. Wide Load. So here he is in his robot mode. Now we can compare this with the animation model. Interesting. And now let's get a close-up look at that head. Appreciate the head sculpt. He has that thing on his face there. It's another nicely sculpted head, so this is really nice. And to transform Wide Load, same thing. Extend the rear, lift up the back, bring it down, fold down the arms, and here he is in his alt mode. It's kind of unfortunate they didn't paint those windows. They sculpted it. Really nice sculpt detail. But you know, for a small figure, they're not gonna put in a lot of money to put in all the paint and stuff. It would have been nice to have those windows painted. There he is in his alt mode, and he also rose. That's really cool. And his bio, here it is. You can pause that and read it if you want. And his tech spec, which you need the decoder. So here it is. And yeah, nothing. He's kind of strong, but that's a Wide Load. Next we have Searchlight. Here he is in his robot mode. Really nice. Just a quick look all around. They're all the same. Now let's compare it to the animation model. Cool. And now let's get a close-up look at that head sculpt. It's really dark. Yeah, I like that top detail on his head, even the sides. Kind of cool. And to transform him, same thing. Extend the back of the tires, lift up the back, bring it down, fold down the sides of the arm, and there you go. You have him in his vehicle mode. Let's see. Appreciate all this nicely sculpted detail. Look at that, even the side view lights. It's really cool. In the back, yeah, same thing. If they would have just painted it, it would have been really cool. And yes, I think these came out, what does that say? 1988, I think. But there he is, Searchlight in vehicle mode. And let's also roll this one back. Really cool. And his bio. Here's a look at his bio. You can pause it, read it. And his tech spec. Need the bio. Nothing really stands out here. But that's his bio. And now last is Robar. So here's a look at him in robot mode. All around, all the same. It's really cool. Now compare it to the animation model, so you can see where they based the character off of. And now let's just get a close-up look at that head sculpt. It's okay. I don't like this design. I like those two stripes on the side of his ears. That's kind of cool. Even like eyebrows. So that's cool. Now to transform him, same thing. Pull back to extend the rear tires. Lift this back up. Bring it down. Pull down the arms, form the side of the vehicle, and here you go. Here he is in vehicle mode. Nicely sculpted detail. Even the sticker, if you ever done like rendering, you know what this is. This is a reflection. It's really cool. It's just unfortunate they didn't give you stickers on the back windows. That would have been nice. Rear tire would have been nice if this second piece could have been black, but that's okay. This is still cool nonetheless. There he is in vehicle mode, and let's compare with the animation model. So yeah, and then he also does row. Pull it back. Really cool. And last, let's take a look at his bio. You could pause it, read it if you want. And let's take a look at his specs here. Anything stand out? Looks like he's a very courageous Autobot, kind of like Brawn. So that's it. That's my collection of the Throttlebots.
Decepticon attack! Decepticon attack! Decepticons?
Yeah, you know Robar, big ugly guys made of metal. Want to melt us all down into scrap?
I know who they are. I just wonder what they're up to.
After we get outside, you can ask them.
Destroy! Back off, Snapdragon! Well, since you put it that way...